everyone, it's Teresa, and today I am working with Cricut on this sponsored video, and I am going to be showing you the process of making a command center. So if you're like me and it's back to school season, yeah, my kids are always a little nervous and the whole family gets a little anxious about it because it's trying to come back into old routines, new routines. So the best way that we're going to tackle it this year is to get everything kind of planned out and ready before school starts. So go ahead and join me to make this command center, and hopefully we bring some of that anxiety back down. All right, so I'm going to start off with making a calendar. This is like super trendy right now, I think, is one of these acrylic style calendars, and boy, oh boy, can they be expensive. And I'm sorry, but back to school is expensive enough. We don't need to add to that. And so what I'm doing here is I'm actually just going to use my Cricut measuring mat and get a little dot right in the center. Basically, it puts it approximately half an inch away from the edge. I do that in all four corners, and now I'm going to just go ahead and drill right into that. The size of the drill bit that I used the first time was significantly smaller than it needed to be. I'll share all of the details of all of the different supplies that I get down in the description box, so feel free to go down there and check it out with what I purchased. And I'll leave the actual drill bit size that you need to use. I was doing it off of the screws instead of the hardware that you actually needed to hang the calendar. It was a whole thing. And now we'll jump over to Design Space so I can show you how I made the calendar. Spend too much time in Design Space on this video, but I did want to show this is the calendar I am going to be creating. Obviously notice it's backwards because I am going to put this on the back side of my acrylic board. I'm going to show you how to do that in just a minute. I just wanted to point out I do have these little squares in the corners. That is just to denote where my holes are, where my hardware is going, so that I didn't accidentally make it too big. And I love that you can just circle what month it is and then fill in your calendar. It just makes it significantly easier. And I'm just going to go ahead and make this on my Cricut Venture. If you don't have a Cricut Venture, you'll just have to make it in a couple of different pieces. So not too hard to split up, but I'm going to go ahead and get this created on the machine and get this ready to put on my acrylic board. All right, so here it is all set up to weed. So I'm just going to weed just a couple little ones here just to kind of give you a quick idea. Obviously you're going to go through, weed out all of the parts that need to be translucent and then I'll be done weeding like magic. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and apply all of the transfer tape onto the entire calendar. I had to do it in pieces because I don't have one long thing of transfer tape. Be careful while you're doing that because I definitely messed up a couple little spots, and I'll show you how to fix that in just a minute though. And then again, same thing, be very careful while you're trying to take off your transfer tape and kind of take the design with it. Just make sure everything comes with it. So the calendar is going to be a lot of fun for my kids. I know my youngest really likes knowing kind of what's coming up, especially when she gets dress up days and I'll see an email about it from school, and then out of nowhere it feels like it's upon me, and at 5 in the morning we're trying to figure out how to play superheroes and how to dress up for like a who's your favorite teacher day. I don't even know. Some of these dress up days come out of nowhere. So here what I'm doing is I'm just taking a little bit of parchment paper, or wax paper works. Nope, I lie. Just parchment paper. I always say wax paper too, but it does not work the same. I'm using the parchment paper on one side, obviously the sticky side. This way I don't get it stuck to anything by accident. It gives you the ability to move things around a whole lot easier. And do not forget to take off the clear film on the side that you are putting it on. It'll be on both sides. Don't forget. I came very close to forgetting that, and that would have been awful. So I'm going to use my little rectangles, my goodness, my little squares to get it placed out pretty evenly. I have to toot my horn here. It worked out pretty good. It might not be like 100% perfect, but it's really, really close. I'll just flip it around so that I can get a better angle at this, but it's going to make this calendar significantly easier to put together if it's using this parchment paper idea. So once I've gotten the first little bit kind of fixed on there, you can make it really easy and just flip it over and just start pushing it on with your scraping tool, and it will just kind of, you'll peel back your bit of parchment paper, see it glides off super, super easy. Do not let go of it onto your acrylic, otherwise it's going to stick. It's part of the way it does things. Another option is you can use the soapy water method. I've used that in the past for different things. That would work just as well on this one too. So just kind of keep that in mind. Be really careful when you're placing your transfer tape, because if you get it too stuck on one piece, it's not going to transfer as nicely. And again, I'll show you how to fix that here in just a minute, but just take your time in getting it placed on there correctly. And I was really, really pleased with how it worked. For a second I thought about maybe I should have done it in white, and quickly I was like, nope, I'm not redoing it. So it's going to be good the way it is. The kids, they're going to love putting this stuff together with me every week, or every month, I should say. So I think we'll probably start a new routine where the kids bring something home and we add it to the calendar together. I think that'll help them kind of get used to the notion of planning and everything like that. I think it's just going to be really, really great. So next, once I am all finished, I'm going to take off of those little squares. You don't obviously need them. And we're just going to make sure everything is nice and adhered. Try to be careful it doesn't snag on any little rough parts, because I know sometimes applying the transfer tape's a little difficult, and I'm slowly going to work it off. Slow is the way to go. That was not on purpose, I'm sorry. So here's, like I mentioned, there's a couple little spots that need a little bit of adjustment. They did not get adhered just right. They're pulling up a little bit, so I'm just going to cut them away with my craft knife. So, and what I also included, if you go into the Cricut file, if you want to just pull it off of the stuff I have linked below for you, I include one of these too. It's like essentially the lines. That way, if you need to make corrections, it's already cut out. Just the lines, the little thin one for the date to go on in the box part too. So if you need to make those adjustments, that's included in there. You just have to duplicate it however many times. I ended up cutting off the ones on the sides. I decided I didn't care for them. It's like, well, these don't really serve a purpose, so I ended up cutting them off all along the edge. So they're still on the file. You can make your decision of what you would like, if you like it like that or not. So let me show you real quick here, once I'm done cutting them all away, how to fix it. Because this is really easy to mess up when there's thin lines like this, and I just wanted to show you how to do that too. So once you have them all cut away, I just, like I said, I cut out a couple of them, and they have a tiny little thin line on the left hand side. You see me messing with right there. I took that off on the one that's actually in the file, so you won't even have to worry about that. It will not bother you at all. So you're just going to need just a really small little piece of transfer tape to kind of pull this off. I'm just using my scraping tool to make sure that it is straight all the way. When I was messing with that thin line on the left, it kind of made it a little wonky. So, but like I said, it's not on the file, so. But essentially what you'll do once you're ready is use your transfer tape, plop it on there just like this, and just transfer it to the board, just being cautious to make sure it's even and, you know, like a straight line, or at least a straight line-ish. But I think this will be such a great little tool for the kids, and probably even better tool for me. Excuse my head in the way with all the curly hair. So I'm actually going to save kind of the final reveal of this project till the end, when I show you kind of the whole thing. I think I'm going to probably make some adjustments here and there on it, but this will at least give me a really good start into the school year. So another idea that I had is kind of making like a little study bag. So I went into Cricut Design Space, pulled something that was already made, super easy, and I am just going to use my Cricut heat press and put it right on this Cricut canvas bag, and it's just going to say study time, and it's like pretty fun and holographic, and there's going to be a little pencil you'll see in just a minute that's glittery. It is right up my youngest one's alley. So she's going to love it, and she already saw it. She's already given it her stamp of approval, but it's just a super simple little project to put in all of your, little homework supplies. That way, if you are on the run to all the places that you have listed on your calendar, you can just grab the bag and have everything you need to do homework while you're out on the go, and not have to worry about hoping that they have the right thing in their backpack, because they never do, right? So here is my new command center. Now obviously the back of the calendar is white. I ended up spray painting the back side of it, and then also took a roller brush with some white acrylic paint. Super easy to do. I don't like the color of my walls, but it's not a big enough issue that I decided to paint the walls, because that's a whole project in itself. I did add a little spot for some mail, that's from Target, and then a little sticky dry erase board that goes right on the wall. They're super easy to use. And then of course the little bag to take with us on the go. So this is going to be the next area that I tackle. I already started on it a little bit with some bins and putting supplies in there. If you're interested in kind of seeing me walk through everything, obviously it's already built. I put it together. It's really easy though. I can easily talk you through it. And I'm thinking about making kind of a more affordable version. And not that it's not affordable to make the calendar, but if you wanted an even more budget-friendly version of it out of the whiteboard that you can buy from your hardware stores, let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear if that's something that you're interested in. And don't forget to leave a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. And I hope you guys are having a great day and are excited for the new school year. And I will see you next time.